Self-confidence. Do you fear or fail to make mistakes? Do you compare yourself with others? Do you doubt your strength and abilities? Do you see yourself inferior than others? Do you feel bad, guilty, nervous, and angry when you don't get what you wanted? If any answer for these questions is yes, then you are in a state of feeling low confidence. What is self-confidence and self-esteem? Self-confidence is the knowledge that you can do something and do it well. Self-confidence comes from first-hand knowledge of the task at hand, knowing your strengths and weaknesses, applying your skills to any situation. Self-confidence is extremely important in almost every aspect of our lives. Self-esteem is the opinion we have of ourselves. When we have healthy self-esteem, we tend to feel positive about ourselves and about life in general. It makes us better able to deal with life's ups and downs. When our self-esteem is low, we tend to see ourselves and our life in a more negative and critical light. We also feel less able to take on the challenges that life throws at us. What are the types of self-confidence? Low self-confidence, optimal self-confidence, overconfidence. If you have low self-confidence, you are probably staying in your comfort zone, fearing failure and so avoid taking risks, governing your behavior based on what other people think, working hard to cover up mistakes and hoping that you can fix the problem before anyone notices. Self-confidence is extremely important in almost every aspect of our lives, yet so many people struggle to find it. People who lack self-confidence can find it difficult to become successful. Self-confident people inspire confidence in others. Often we come across people who are overconfident, egotistic and stubborn. Generally, these people have the so-called superiority complex. It is important to be confident, but overconfidence makes you egotistic and irritating. Bragging about your qualities and achievements will not make you reach anywhere. How low self-esteem or self-confidence can affect you. Many people experience low self-esteem or low self-confidence. Some are only affected in particular situations, but for others it can be restricting or debilitating. If you have low self-esteem or low self-confidence, you may find that individual negative or disappointing experiences affect how you feel about yourself. This can cause a self-perpetuating cycle of negative thinking, where negative expectations for the future discourage you from trying. This leads to disappointing outcomes. For example, if you're lacking self-confidence and receive a low mark for an assignment, you may think, what else could I expect? I'm stupid. This proves it, and I might as well leave. But if you have healthy self-esteem and receive a low mark, you may think, I wonder where I went wrong. I'll find out so I can do better next time. Although you may feel disappointed by the low mark, you don't feel diminished as a person. What causes low self-esteem? Low self-esteem often begins in childhood. Our teachers, friends, siblings, parents, and even the media send us positive and negative messages about ourselves. Stress and difficult life events such as serious illness or a bereavement can have a negative effect on self-esteem. Perhaps you found it difficult to live up to other people's expectations of you, or to your own expectations. Personality can also play a part. Some people are just more prone to negative thinking, while others set impossibly high standards for themselves. Ways to improve your self-esteem and self-confidence. Practice self-acceptance. Becoming more accepting of yourself helps you to feel okay about yourself and other people, regardless of the situation. Get to know yourself. Take notice of experiences or thoughts that increase or decrease your self-confidence or self-esteem. Identify your strengths, abilities, and achievements. Be honest and include everything you're proud of, no matter how small. Think about what they mean to you and why they are important to you. Think about what you'd like to change or improve about yourself and how you can do that. Surround yourself with positive influences. Spend time with people who like you for who you are. Avoid people who are constantly negative or critical, but don't withdraw from genuine social contact. Reward yourself. Celebrate your achievements as you practice building your self-esteem and self-confidence. Make time to treat yourself with experiences and activities you value. Share with others. If you can tell a good friend what you're doing, their encouragement and feedback on the changes you're making could be invaluable support. You can also help other people to see themselves as capable and worthwhile. Confidence does not come when you have all the answers. It comes when you are ready to face all the questions. And at the end, I would like to say, a winner is not the one who never fails, but the one who never quits. Thanks for watching. If you like what you're seeing, leave a like and subscribe for more videos in the future.